I'm going to give you the most important dates that are a prediction for 2024. So you might want to play this again and write these dates down or save it. Please feel free to share it. If you're interested in having sessions with me, Askhollyhall.com. But let me give you an overview. The world is not going to be the same. This is our tipping point. Okay, so our choice point and our tipping point. What that means is that we've come to a destination where we are, as a collective, creating a tipping point. Now I'm going to give you a reminder of what that is. It's not about the first fortunate people who have pioneered this tipping point. Yes, I say fortunate. It doesn't feel fortunate at all. Those that are awake, it feels like a burden. Once that tipping point gets heavier, the rest start to follow. They start tumbling in, and that's where we are at 2024. As I said, this is going to happen in the educational, the medical, the political system, and I'm going to give you exact dates when this is going to happen. Now, about 10 years ago, I had a very important dream around Jupiter. So I've been waiting for this alignment of Jupiter to kick in. And guess what? It's now. It's 2024, and it's happening soon. Remember, I do Vedic astrology, Akashic astrology. Okay, let's write these dates down. One of the dates started in March of 2023, but it's been hovering back and forth between signs. And so it's going to be permanently in the sign that we want it to be in this date in 2024. January 1st. And what does this mean? This is a magical manifesting time. For the next year and a half, we will be able to manifest in and around the medical field. We'll be able to manifest our own health and our own mental health. But what's going to happen right now, specifically since January 1st of 2024, all of you are going to start to feel a little bit off kilter. You're going to feel like you're not in touch with yourself. You don't have control over your emotional well-being. But what's happening is that you're siphoning in. You're collectively hearing and feeling each other's mental anguish and mental pain. And that's why many of you can't even watch the news. If somebody shares with you knowledge that's happening across the world, it's so difficult for you to be able to manage it emotionally and intellectually and spiritually. And it's not because you don't care. It's not because you don't give a crap. Is because you can only handle so much at this time. But this isn't going to last for long. The third week of April of 2024, this is another catalyst. It does have to do with war. It does have to do with destruction. And it is going to be the tipping point where you're going to see a very unusual, unprecedented, and unpredictable force that may be coming from unknown places are going to come into place and take over. We're going to be confused about whether we can trust this new force, this new regime, this new army that's going to be coming in to save this situation. So we can't go against it, right? We have to speak our truth, and we have to know and trust and believe. And I will talk about it more when April comes. This will also bring in, and I just received this download, guys, the Army of Citizens. So the Army of Citizens, now we're not talking that we are all going to be equipped with any type of ammunition, but individually throughout all the countries, we are going to be asked to band together. The Army of Citizens will do so. Now, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel safe, and you're not sure if you can trust the situation, then just sit back, but don't fight against it. Let those who want to stand up and stand firm be able to join the Army of Citizens. The Army of Citizens, AOC, is going to also kick in August and September. Now, this is a way that people will be able to join. You'll be able to put together your resources that they will need. It will not just be for financials. They will want to feed and house people around the world that are in danger. Also, in August is when I see the Great Recession or the Great Reset. So this is when prices will suddenly drop, housing will suddenly drop, but also people who are locked into long-term mortgages. So if you can change your mortgage, do it now. Will make it it'll be very difficult for them to maintain their mortgages. And that is the reason why we end up in a type of recession. Many of you may not even feel the pinch until mid-November, all the way until January of 2025. But guys, trust me, please, this is not going to be the worst case scenario ever. We will be able to band together. That's what we're being forced to do on a spiritual level, on a galactic level, is to band together, work with Mother Earth, work amongst each other in order to make this great divide, this sudden change where we are not dependent on powers that be to protect us, to house us, to clothe us, to feed us. Because the more that we're dependent on them, the more that they can use us for their own pleasures and their own dependence. Also, between June and August is when all of sort of litigations, proof of how and whom the big companies are, how and how much money, our money, they are spending to exploit human trafficking and human beings in general. This will be so well known amongst the average person like us, we will completely stop contributing, buying, purchasing things and services from these people. They will go down. The difficulty here lies with those of you who are dependent amongst these companies, such as these are places that you work, this is where you gain your income and your employment, etc. Now remember, I said this is a tipping point. So because of everything that's happening, as of February of 2025, there will be a demand on all manufacturers that are putting poisonous substances in our and on our foods to cease and desist. Now, unfortunately, they will be given a few years in order to do this, as it's already started with Kellogg's. For the food dyes, they have been given 4 years to cease and desist this in order to change all their manufacturers, etc. But there will be a standoff of people demanding the change now or eliminating their food sources or food supplies by not purchasing it anymore. But that's not until 2025. Okay, now for politics. Is Trudeau going to get in again? He probably will. Is Trump going to get in again? As far as I can see, yes, he will. Will that create somewhat of a civil war? Yes, it will. And it is a catalyst of how everything else I just predicted is going to happen. Namaste. We got this, guys. We got this.